watching my opponent luck with our Abzan deck. We've got a 2-drop and potential to curve out. I like this. I'm gonna keep it. I mean, this hand obviously needs lands to get going, but between the Wandu War Cleric, the Gideon's Reproach, I should be able to stem the tide of any aggressive deck, at least for a short period of time, and then start gaining a lot of life by the time it matters, hopefully. Foil Evolving Wilds. Interesting. War Cleric up. Alright, this is the crucial turn. If my opponent, if I draw a land, I should be okay, and if I do not, I probably won't be. Alright. That thing is annoying. I've lost a lot of games to Blinding Drones. If he blocks, I'll probably reproach it. I don't know how correct that is, but I still do it. No blocks by the opponents. Like to see them get aggressive enough to attack and to approach. That would be nice. And you've noticed notably out of colorless mana. Hogrush Sharpshooter. They're playing around their Project Champions. That's fine, however. I'm gonna start gaining life. So they don't have a colorless source here. I get to block the sharpshooter, or at least prevent the sharpshooter from attacking, while gaining life. And then next turn I'm probably gonna play Scion Summoner, go a little wide there. Gravity Negator, another colorless matters card, in which the opponent has no colorless mana. Okay, 2 life. I will play a Scion Summoner. I'm gonna pass the turn. If the opponent has a land, I suppose they could use all of their mana to kill my Eldrazi Scion, which kind of suck, especially if I drew a land to cast, say, the Ghostly Sentinel next turn. But I still think this is correct. I'm happy to trade the Summoner for, like, say, a Hogger Sharpshooter. Opponent's still missing colorless mana. And I'll eventually hit my land drops. Especially with this kind of, like, slow down the game business I'm doing right now. So they're targeting the Blinding Drone, though it's irrelevant since it's not actually getting flying. See if they have a 5 mana play. Otherwise they're just going to hold up Hogger Sharpshooter activation. Go back up to 22. Yep, killing the Scion, that's fine. Alrighty. So in this scenario, I am happy to attack with this. If your opponent wants to trade, that's fine. I'm eventually going to draw the mana I need while the opponent sits here sputtering, doing an effective 0 damage a turn. I'll eventually hit my land. I'll play my Ghostly Sentinel. I'll play my Tajira Warcaller. And then, you know, that should take care of business, really. Ugin's Insight. Scry 4. Opponent's probably desperately searching for a colorless source to keep one of my creatures tapped. They bottomed a card. Bottomed another one. Topped a card. Topped a card. So they've liked 2 of those cards. Still haven't played a land for the turn as far as I can tell. So, the colorless source, they may very well play it. Looks like they've decided against attacking. I will gain 2 life. I drew, of course, the only tapped land in my deck. However, this turns on Oblivion Strike. So this is not the worst of circumstances. I'm just going to keep letting time go by. Eventually the opponent will be required to do something. The only card I am truly 110% afraid of in this situation, Sphinx of the Final Word. I have no good way to interact with it. You know, I've got answers to these other things, but Sphinx of the Final Word, not so much. I'm just gonna keep getting life. Of course, still have yet to get what I'm looking for here. Back up to 7 cards in hand. Much as I wish to Oblivion Strike this, I don't think I do. I think I just pass. I'm going to lose a life per turn on the Oracle of Dust attack. If my opponent fires in with that Gravity Negator, I'm just going to Gideon's Reproach it. They're living in fear of it pretty badly, which either means they have counter magic eventually to protect it, or they really think that Gravity Negator is integral to their game plan. Either way, it's worth noting. Alright, so they've decided to attack with the Negator. This Reproach is less important than most of my removal spells in this case. It is 2 damage coming in, but it's not like anything crazy. Let's see if they got a negate. That creature's dead. I'm happy not to block. Opponent does have a spell. No Caller. This game is slow enough that that might actually matter. Gonna gain 2 life. Go to 25. Hit a land, I'll play my planes, it'll be glorious. So the question is, what do I want most? And I think the answer is Embodiment of Insight for 2 reasons. The first one is, and this is important, I get to potentially draw a land, and animate the Shambling event with the ability. Then cast an Ondu Rising, Um, no, actually, and then cast an Anti-Rising on a later turn. I mean, it'll give me a 6/6 Vigilance, a 4/5 attacker, a 4/4 attacker. It'll just kind of be bigger than the board. Drowner of Hope. That card is absurd. I found a decent Oblivion Strike target, which is fine. Gain some life, draw a card. Will Isolation Zone. I'd rather my opponent didn't know what I'm splashing. And we'll feign having Unnatural Endurance. And notably, they can tap my creatures, which is fine. You know, I take a turn off offense, but this thing is, you know, worth getting rid of. It chose not to tap. Interesting. I'm not attacking. They can just trade my Embodiment of Insight for a Eldrazi Scion. Demon's Grasp, annoying, but they were bound to have a removal spell eventually. They're gonna attack me for 3. I got 24. On their end step, I'll gain 2, up to 26. Land. Oh, and I get Shambling Vent activations. So let's cast this Canopy Gorger. Not the best of, you know, beater finishers, but this should stem the tide of aggression. Opponent's really thinking about something. I guess I could have a Spell Shrivel in hand. That's fine. Yeah, Spell Shrivel. Oh, complete disregard. Interesting. I'll get to life. I don't mind tapping the Tajira Stalwart. I mean, yes, runs the risk that they say slam a Oblivion Strike, kill my Canopy Gorger, attack all out, or even sacrifice the Scion to tap the Gorger. That reads like Unnatural Endurance. I'm fine with not blocking. Notably, since they exiled my War Cleric, they do have a free loot. Not a loot. Onto War Cleric, I think did plenty of work, gaining me, you know, something like 15 life, 16 life, I guess. Containment Membrane, alright. So it can only attack once. Better make it count. Very well. I'll cast my Flying Vigilance creature. And I will pass. So it would take 6 mana, and then another 3. Colorless something. What are they casting? Reality Smasher. Okay. I hope the opponent understands that I am more than happy to trade a Canopy Gorger for the Reality Smasher. Especially since they already wasted a Containment Membrane on it. Okay, they're just kind of like 2-for-1ing themselves here. sure, you get to keep your thing, but if I draw something I don't really care about, I'm just going to pitch it to O-Strike your 5/5, and then you're kind of out of luck. Ooh. Or I do that. Alright. I think I'm okay losing Ondu Rising at this point. I have a new game plan. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, yes. So my game plan is simply to kill this. That's fine, I don't care. But the Ondu Rising, they're down a 5/5. And they're not going to like the next turn, especially if I draw a land. I'm okay with my opponent attacking with their 3/5, whatever. I'll go to 20. My starting life total, what do they got? Cloud Manta, sure. It looks like they expect a trade. They have counter magic. So they did actually have a spell shrivel. Notable. Annoying and notable. Alright. I'll pass the turn. Looks like they're going to draw 2 more cards at some point. Opponent's playing a long game control deck. Oh, and they finally found a tap mana. Ah, good for them. That's fine. If they don't actually have anything to follow this up with, we're gonna sort of regret that. Alright, play the land. So, white, black, 1. Animate my shambling event. Creatures get lifelink. Happy to gain a bunch of life. What on earth is this? Oh, they're just making a zombie token. That's fine. I wonder if they realize it came in tapped. Perhaps, perhaps not. Opponent is at 8. So we've got a few other beaters I could draw into. I got a second Canopy Gorger. I got a bunch of removal spells too. Anything to get rid of this flyer pretty much keeps the Blinding Drone taken care of. I'm fine to take this. I've got a few more allies in my deck. I really wish I had still been able to get resolve my Warden or Caller. That would have really kind of ended this. Opponent's now strictly on the defensive, notably. I'm just gonna move to attacks and make them tap my guy. That's fine. keep making zombies. Oh no, they're gonna draw this card. Interesting. My war color in my graveyard. That was actually a mistake. I have Pulse of Murasa in my deck. They're gonna loot again. Nah, this time they're making a zombie. Alright, so the opponent's firmly established a combo. Skyline Cascade, keeping my friend the Sentinel tapped. That's annoying. Getting another free tap is kind of frustrating with that Blinding Drone. Let's see what they attack with. I'm coming in for 6. I think I can take this. Oh, I'll go another turn. I would really, really like to draw my oof, that's rough. My Pulse of Murasa. It's not a Pulse of Murasa. Fortunately, I should be okay as long as my opponent doesn't do anything crazy to affect the power of the creatures they control. Tapping my Titcher Stalwart, interesting choice. I'm gonna attack with everything they control, I suspect. Alright. I'll animate my Shambling Vent. They're probably going to tap my Shambling Vent. I'll take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, they let me block. Interesting choice. Certainly an interesting choice. Well, I'll gain some life here. Now that puts me to 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. So I must block 3 creatures. Alright. In that case, I will simply trade to reduce board state. Yeah, that seems like he's correct. Forgot about the lifelink. If I paid better attention, I would be in okay shape. Pulse of Murasa, I think, just wins this game, actually. That's just a land. Alright, so let's see what the opponent does. Go to combat. I tap my guy. I can hit them for 4, but they'll just tap my creature and lethal me. I'm going to make him go through it for lots of reasons, but yeah, kind of flooded out on this one. 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. Looks like they drew 2 cards. There are 9 cards in deck. They kind of drew a bunch in this game. I still had a few removal spells left in my deck. Cliff of a Vampire would have been good at any juncture. I'll activate Shambling Vent, at which point my opponent will likely tap it this time. And if they don't, then... Alright. I'll block to prevent as much damage as possible. It was a little annoying that my opponent played around the Gideon's Reproach in the early turns of the game. I'm surprised they did. Most people would have taken that trade. Alright, so I could get a Spatial Contortion to deal with that stupid thing. I really dislike it, but I'm not sure it's worth, you know, with only 2 sources in the deck, really. 3 maybe. It looks like this is fine. I didn't see a lot of high-powered creatures. If it was Puncturing Light from the Shadows of Innistrad, would be even better. Spatial Contortion does seem decent. I could bring that in, but I think I like what I have. I just needed to draw something to deal with the flyer or the stupid tapper. I think would have been okay. Nothing I can do about that. Let's Alright, maybe cut. What was bad? This is not an aggro deck. Encircling Fissure just gets you once, and they've got counter magic. It is notable that we looked through almost the entire opponent's deck. There were 13 cards we did not see. Some of them are lands. I will be on the play. Sylvan Advocate, and yes, I need to draw a white mana source, but I think this is a fine key. I'll leave the forest. And see what my opponent does. If I can get a Plains in play early, I'll be doing really well for myself. That's a good sign, usually. Unless they're playing like Salvage Drone. Alright. Sylvan Advocate. I'll pass. Swamp. They have a black 2-drop. Trying to grasp the mind. Alright, so they're probably going to take my Ghostly Sentinel. Yeah, big surprise. Alright, drew Canopy Gorger. Begin combat, attack for 2. Pass. I'd like to draw a white source to deal with whatever problem permanents they play. 4, 5. Alright, so I can't yet, so we're going to go to combat. And attack. Opponent went to 13. Alright, next turn I can play Canopy Gorger, which may be difficult to deal with. They did have an Oblivion Strike, as I recall. So, you know, if they've got land Oblivion Strike, you know, that's not good. Of course, if they have Oblivion Strike, they have to Sylvan Advocate at this juncture. Because they're worried about its future potential. Complete disregard, yeah. So I can attack in, slam my 6/5, and they may not have an answer. Containment Membrane. That's a little annoying. Got my Plains. Gonna attack with my Eldrazi Scion. Alright, here's to hoping they don't have an answer for this Canopy Gorger. If they don't, I pretty much win right off the bat. If they do, things get difficult. To top deck something good, and then Reality Smasher. In this juncture, I will not block the Reality Smasher. I'm happy to trade. Alright. Yeah, opponent realizes they're on thin ice. I will pass. I need to draw something to kill that. I'm going to leave this Searing Light in my hand so that if I get like an Isolation Zone or a... Well, I guess Isolation Zone's an ability, but if I get like a Oblivion Strike or something, I can just take care of it. Forthright. Thought Harvester, annoying, but not unstoppable. Nissa's Judgment. Ought to do the trick. I will make a gigantic threat and kill his Reality Smasher. So we're gonna choose up to 2 target creatures. We'll get this, and I suppose the Hedron Crawler, though it doesn't really matter. And we will fight this Reality Smasher. I will pay the mana necessary. Sure, I'll pitch a Searing Light. That's fine. I'll attack for 7. Opponent's going to a healthy 5. Probably were not expecting this after game 1. I drew a pretty aggressive draw. I'm glad I played it like I did, but I think they're about to stabilize Reality Smasher. Or that Nissa's Judgment came one turn too late, I think. I'm probably going to need to answer whatever they play here. Actually, no. Null Collar's not too bad. What else they got? If it's land, I'm okay. There's not enough power to kill this. Slip through space, so they're digging. They're probably not even Shambling Vent. That's a little annoying, honestly, but that's fine. Hopefully I draw one of my spells, because so many of them are removal spells. Luckily they will not attack. Yep, they've just conceded. I think they realized how much time they wasted game one, and they're probably going to board for an aggressive deck. Now that I think about it, Plummet's actually probably a good board in. So I'll probably actually bring in Plummet. It seems like a Vindicate almost against some of their bigger threats. And then I think I bring out Searing Light. Searing Light, what else we got? Curious. I cut the sheer drop. The creatures don't tap a ton. That's probably better, actually. I mean, it makes a creature, but they're not like big on tapping all their stuff. You know, the Reality Smasher. If I play aggressively, they won't be able to tap out. This seems like a decent keep. I need black to really turn it on, but with all this removal, I figure worst thing that happens is I clear up some of their space on their board. If I can make this game go long, I might even want to clock. Opponent used something like 15 minutes or so in game one. Carrier Throw. That likely was not in the deck to begin with. Drew my Black Source. This kind of draw, I'm more than happy to kill that. I will play Forest and pass. Alright, so I want to play like Cliffhaven Vampire. Take 4 here. If I can play Cliffhaven Vampire and then turn on the Shambling Vent, I might start causing some issues for my opponent. Ooh. So we'll go Cliffhaven Vampire. I might just Isolation Zone next turn, so they disregard my creature. I may just, actually, yeah, I'll probably Isolation Zone at this point, just to get rid of the, Gravity Negator. It's the easiest way I lose this. Ooh. Yeah, I think I just go for that Negator. And yeah, I'm actually okay here if my opponent decides to Spell Shrivel. Alright, so if I can get through this next turn and play the Canopy Gorger, and then just start Lantern Scouting into Tajira Warcaller, I'll be okay. Looks like they've got something here. They're paying costs. What do they have? Ah, okay, they've chosen not to do whatever it is they have. So I'd like for them to tap out, so that my Gorger gets to get to play. Thought Harvester. That's okay. Alright. Alright, so I need to be able to untap with this. And if I can do that, I very may well win this game. From a pretty bad place, honestly. 6. Alright, so they've chosen to give it menace and kill me. So they saw the line. Unfortunate. I was one turn away from turning this around. Alright, that's the end of the round.